And I actually want to talk about the interview a little bit first, because indeed it was very, very insightful. A couple of things to me. The first thing is that in the beginning of the season, of course, we heard from all the members, hey, we want to be good at the end of summer. This is a project that we are working towards. Yet here we hear we weren't growing fast enough. What does that indicate to you for short-term goals for Fnatic?
No, I just, like Rekkles just said, that maybe all the players were not on the same page and there were some kind of issues inside the team, and that can really, like I personally know this, that can like really hinder the growth of the team if you are just not everyone as motivated and have the same goals.
Yeah, definitely. You may not be at a level yet where you want to be, but you can have a good indication that you'll have the potential to grow there or not. Like certain teams just are not meant to grow because people have different philosophies about in-game, out-of-game, practice habits, the way you react to something. Maybe your teammate finds certain things stupidly funny, and you think, like, what childish humor. And like little things like that can seep through in the day-to-day relationships in the game, and in the end, it's all about trusting each other and blindly following calls. If somebody goes in, you want your team to go in with you. Worst case, you know, after the game, analyze that play then. So that seems to be the main reason to remove Noxjack, because on an individual level, he wasn't performing much worse than the other Fnatic members. So it must have had some psychological impact in the gaming house.
And it just has to click, especially for Rekkles, I would say, with all the responsibility he's taking on his shoulders within that team. Let's look at this game then. I thought it was a very 2015 Fnatic-esque game. And Krepo, you wanted to talk about picks and bans specifically, because you feel like with the bans, they shut down Elements and shut down their strength specifically in Steve.
Yeah, I just wanted to talk a little bit about both these compositions. Elements is what we saw kind of G2 play in week 2 and 3, like these heavy poke comps, double siege, and it's really good if you can just group up and siege. But Fnatic kind of did it better, and more importantly, I really liked the thematic counterpick from Nautilus. So they kept pushing in Steve in the top lane, and Steve was the only engage for Elements, and Elements have shown in the past that they've been really struggling when they don't have a hard engage. So Steve was constantly pushed in on the sidelines with the ZZ route, with the Banner of Command minion, and he couldn't really get any engages off.
Yeah, and 4v4 in this case, Elements does lose, especially when Fnatic is ahead, because Nidalee can just nullify the poke of Corki and ezreal by healing and then poking back, and at this point Elements is just pretty much waiting to get charmed or hooked.
Yeah, and it kind of got even worse once Elements botched up the lane swap, and we kind of have the replay of the moment where it all came ahead for Fnatic, and that was at the tier 2 tower where they started sieging up. Elements was behind from the play already. Deficio touched upon it in the game. Look at where Fnatic is right now on the map. They're rotating towards bot lane, and MRRallez, he's stuck in the top lane trying to catch up on the play. We can roll the clip right now, and we'll see Kaj actually being very comfortable right here in his role as a support. Like playing lane swap as a support on stage for the first time is pretty rough, but he did very well here. He even goes for the hook here, and look at how Rekkles immediately will follow up too. Even flash in to get the 2 last hits here, and then the ignite ticks him off. So it's nice to see Fnatic play aggressive on the same page with that new support.
Yeah, honestly, like Steve was just way too ahead here. Like just trying to go in 1v4, I really don't know what he was doing.
Yeah, and that's a signature move from Elements where they kind of put themselves behind draft-wise, and then they try to catch up at the wrong moments. We saw it in week 3, day 1 as well when they played against the Unicorns.
Yeah, and finally then actually at one point Fnatic said, okay, we have this small advantage, let's turn this into a huge advantage, and that's where we saw the game snowballing out of control. For Fnatic at least, they just pressed the go button and they went for it.
Yeah, we'll see like a series of skirmishes again. This is Gilius desperately trying to make a pick to get the game even, but yeah, kicking there is pretty rough when Febiven plays the ways he does.
Yeah, because Febiven gets away, and at this point it's just Fnatic trying to clean everything up, and eventually they do succeed.
Yeah, look at that Nidalee damage coming out there with the runic. Then Gilius has the flash, MRRallez is chasing. Eventually Kaj will walk up here and he'll go for the sick Mad Life play. It's actually a zoning hook. Either MRRallez gets into it or he walks back into Febiven. Either way he dies.
That was the strat.
No, he probably should have flashed with the lantern, but honestly, it's bold going for a Mad Life on the stage. But the clip that really matters is what's going to follow here afterwards, where we fast forward in time and we're going to get that Baron set up as we see EIKA dying here. Fnatic, they really set up that bottom wave push with the banner, with the ZZ Rot, and suddenly they start the Baron.
Yeah, I think this hook was blind. I'm not sure.
I think a ward just died where he swept, but either way, Kaj again, zero hesitation. And I think that's fantastic to see. Many supports will be like, yeah, do we stop? Do we keep doing Barons? He just goes over the wall. I think Elements could have actually won this fight. A bit unfortunate flash from Steve. But thematically, I like what Elements brought, what Fnatic brought to the table. Unity in playstyle, the new supports playing aggressive, and everybody seems to get along.
Yeah, just like this is the Fnatic confidence. Like Efja said before there, that they know they are ahead, they know they can go for the Baron play, and they know they will win the fight when Elements does come and contest.
And that is a fantastic sign for Fnatic fans, at least a win on the board. And as we speak, Origin and Splice are gearing up for our next clash of the day. Before we go,